Hello, welcome to Miss Flores's classroom. Today is Monday, November 16th, and we are still in our new unit about water. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a reminder what our standards are, right? So in this unit, you are the student going to be identifying and comparing the properties of natural sources of fresh water and salt water. So if you remember with that big student brain, last Friday we talked about water. And we talked about water and rocks because our last unit was all about rocks and it was real rockin'. But now we are talking about water. You're probably thinking about different bodies of water that you've seen before. Maybe you've gone to a lake this summer. Maybe you've gone to the ocean and got to swim at the beach. Maybe you've gone fishing on a river. Those are different bodies of water that we're going to be talking about in this unit. So just to take a second, think about our standards, what we're learning in this unit. You might hear things like, I want you to identify. You're going to have to describe different bodies of water. You're going to have to compare them. Which ones are salt water? Which ones are fresh water? You're going to have to describe using words, and you're going to hear me use lots and lots of description words in today's lesson. There are some vocabulary words that you might have to know, and we did go over our vocabulary last week, but just a reminder, you might hear fresh water. Fresh water comes from rain, streams, rivers, glaciers, mostly lakes. Salt water, you might hear them from oceans, from marshes, and some lakes are saltwater lakes too. Streams, a small body of water that flows into a larger body of water. Rain, liquid water that falls from the clouds. River, a body of fresh water that flows continuously towards the ocean. Lake, fresh water surrounded by land. And ocean, most of the water on earth is salt water. Okay, so we are going to be comparing different bodies of water, talking about what kind of water are in them. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, Emma spent all day playing in the ocean. Heat from the sun beat down on her. After a while, she noticed she was thirsty. She tried to take a sip of the ocean water. Yuck, it tasted terrible. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone to the beach and you were swimming in the ocean and you tasted some of the water and it wasn't very good? Emma was surrounded by water, but she had to go somewhere else to find a drink. Why? Why is that? Some water is salt water. So we're going to be talking about salt water right now. Earth's oceans are filled with salt water. So are the seas. Salt water has lots more salt than fresh water, which is why we can taste it. Our bodies cannot handle that much salt. People cannot drink salt water at all. In fact, it can make us really sick. That is why Emmy had to find fresh water instead of ocean water. About 3/4, that's 75%, of the earth is covered in water. Almost all of this water is salt water. Remember that Earth's ocean and seas contain salt water. Some marshes also contain salt water. A marsh is an area along a coast filled with water and tall grasses. And there is a marsh right there. You can see the tall grass. Many birds in salt marshes can drink salt water. When the birds drink this water, special glands remove the extra salt. We don't have special glands to remove extra salt, and that's why we can't drink it like these birds. And then right here it says about 97% of Earth's water is salt water. Most of this water is found in the ocean. And then they show us an island, and the island is surrounded by water, and that water is the ocean, and therefore it is salt water. Great job. Some water is fresh water, and this is the water that we can drink. Water that is not salt water is called fresh water. People and many animals cannot drink salt water. They must drink fresh water. Only 3% of the Earth's water is fresh water. So most of the Earth is covered in water. That's why our planet looks blue from space. The blue areas are the big oceans we have. We can actually only drink 1% of the water on Earth. Where does that water come from? We can't get it from the ocean. because the ocean's too salty. We can't get it from giant ice sheets or glaciers. The water in the glaciers are frozen, so we can't drink that. Where can we find water that is both fresh and liquid? Here are some places. The first one is a stream. A stream is a smaller river. It contains fresh water. Rivers. A river is a running stream of fresh water moving towards a larger body of water. Lakes is a large body of water surrounded by land on all the sides. It's not open at any point. Right? And then they showed us some pictures of what a stream looks like. Streams are small bodies of water. They flow into rivers, right? So they're small, they're smaller than rivers, and they flow into big rivers. Now, this is a river. Notice how much bigger it is than a stream. Rivers are wider and longer than streams. Most rivers flow from lakes to oceans. And then what do we have here? Our very last one is a lake. Most lakes are completely surrounded by land. Some lakes connect to rivers. Remember these. These will be very important in our assignment today. Fresh water comes from other sources. Rainwater is fresh water. Fresh water also comes from underground lakes and streams. People can bring it up to the surface. They drill it down into the ground and they build a well to bring up the water. Rain provides fresh water. It runs off of Earth's surface and fills rivers, streams, and lakes. And remember, we talked about how rivers, streams, and lakes have fresh water, and they get their fresh water from rain. Look out, not all lakes contain fresh water. Some lakes are full of salt water. China has many saltwater lakes. The United States has one of the most famous ones. Salt Lake City in Utah is named for the nearby Great Salt Lake. That lake is even saltier than Earth's oceans. And then they showed us a picture right here, right? So this white stuff is salt. It's from the Great Salt Lake in Utah that we just read about. The lake gets very little rain and no rivers flow into it. So why would this make it so salty? Why would the salt dry up on the land right here? It's because they don't get a lot of rain. So the water starts saving all that salt because it never gets flushed with fresh water. And then here are some pictures. All right, what's this? What do you think? What kind of water is going to be in this picture? We can make a guess. I can say, I think it's a stream because I think it's smaller than a river. And what kind of water flows in streams? Fresh water. Great job. Career Corner. And just as a review, remember when we were doing our rockin' unit, we read about geologists who study rocks. Let's find out who studies water. Scientists who study Earth's oceans are called oceanographers. They are different kinds of oceanographers. They study different parts of the ocean. Marine biologists are oceanographers. They study plants and animals that live in oceans. Oceanographers can also study climate. If Earth's climate becomes warmer, oceans become warmer. This affects the plants and animals that live next to the oceans. Oceanographers may also study ocean waves. This is important because large waves can damage buildings and hurt people if they reach the shore. Knowing how waves moves can help lives. All right, well, that is the end of our lesson today. We talked a lot more about fresh water and salt water and the different bodies of water. So try your very best during your assignment. It's your job to look at those pictures, use the information you just learned, and figure out, is that salt water or fresh water? And what kind of body of water is that? Thank you so much for joining me today, students. Have a great Monday.